Right, right. So, so any link that I use right now would be down. Fuck. I don't know. Th- Pay $200. I'm like, damn, why don't I eat these all the time? But hmm. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, and that's gonna be, I mean, with any day though, like the best way to keep up on your protein is just to get it at the start, you know, so you're not falling behind. So maybe that's the goal, is just like to make sure you get high protein breakfast on the weekend. Yeah, exactly. Because if like the definition of empty calorie is like you ate it but it didn't do anything for you. So yeah. So that's the thing, is it's empty as far as your stomach goes, but it counts against your numbers. So that's kind of why it's empty, is because like you only have so many. If you're spending it on this that doesn't help you, then it feels like it's empty, but you actually lost some macros, right? Yep. Yep. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. It would just be really hard. Like the whole thing with macros is like, and when it started out, people were like, "Watch, I'll eat 2,000 calories of just ice cream today, nothing else, and then I'll burn, 3,000 and I'll lose weight." And that was like everyone's thing. Like, see, I can eat ice cream and cookies all day and I still lose weight. And it's like, technically yes, but how long can you keep that up, right? Like, you're gonna feel like shit. What up, what up, what up? Got this new tripod, dope. Got a little swivel head. Before I was working with something pretty weak, and it didn't have that, so I was always having to adjust the legs, but you guys don't care about that. What you guys care about is the ketogenic diet. Yeah. That is like the question I get asked the most. It's all about carbs. And gosh, I was just on the phone with the client, and it made me so happy because they're learning, like why carbs aren't bad. And they are pointing out like other people who are like, "Oh yeah, I'm cutting carbs, trying to cut carbs, trying to lose weight, blah blah blah." And yeah, it's just, that makes me happy that like I'm able to teach somebody, and then they're able to then hopefully pass it on, because that's what this is all about. Is like, I want more people to have this knowledge so that they can pass that on, Maybe that's to their kids. Maybe that's to their family members. Maybe that's to their spouse. I don't know. But the more people that know, the more people that can have the nutritional knowledge that a lot of the food companies and companies in general aren't really trying to get you to have, the better. And I think one big issue is a company, it's the Bulletproof company. I don't have anything against them. They're actually like that. The Bulletproof Diet book was one of the first nutrition books I read. And it just really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I'm really for the health and the health benefits that good fats can give you. I think it's really cool. And I actually put coconut oil, for that reason, in my Savage Oats when I make them. Because I know the benefits. I understand them. But the only issue is that it's like they're too good at marketing. right? Like they've blown up so much that they've become mainstream. And when things go mainstream, people don't read into anything. They just see that it's popular and they do it. It's kind of like smoking cigarettes. People just saw that it was popular. They didn't ask questions. They just did it. And that's kind of the same thing with the bulletproof stuff. Is that you gotta know what you're doing if you're gonna go for that, right? Like you see someone buy, first of all, like a $10 coffee, which I posted today. It's about 450 calories, the same calories as an Egg McMuffin and a coffee and a latte from McDonald's. Same calories. Yet this person is switching out their old coffee for this coffee, not knowing that they're really getting about 300 more calories. And they're probably eating something else anyways, right? Like they're probably getting that Egg McMuffin too. And that's what I want more people to know, is that like the bulletproof stuff, it's awesome, but you gotta have everything else set up too. Like the whole low carb, high fat diet, you gotta be low carb and you gotta be high fat. And a lot of people don't do that. They just think they're gonna eat foods high in fat along with everything they were eating before, and that's gonna help them. And it's not. It's just that's what's gonna make you fat. Because it all comes down to calories in versus calories out. If you are eating more calories than you're burning, you're going to gain weight. So when you think I'm making this healthy choice by getting a coffee that has way more calories than you usually got, and you're trying to lose weight, like think about that. Like, does that make sense anymore? Probably not. Probably not. And it's tough to get these messages out there because, you know, everyone wants to praise keto, and it's like, yeah, it can be effective, but so can any other diet. Any of it can work. My thing is, how easy is it to adhere to? How easy is it for the average person to adhere to? And how easy can you mess it up? Right? Like that's my big thing. That's why I'm all about the easy wins. Is because these are things, easy wins are little swaps that you can actually do that if that's all you did, it would help you. Right? Like switching from regular pizza to thin crust pizza. That's always going to help you, no matter what, because it's just going to lower your calories. But getting a bulletproof coffee is not an easy win because it could very quickly be an easy loss, a real easy loss. You just drank the same coffee you would have before. Instead, now you just added a ton of calories. And that's why I don't recommend the keto diet, because it's not that easy to adhere to. It's very easy to mess up, and it doesn't make sense for a lot of people. It doesn't make sense for your lifestyle. So many people see it as this like crazy fat burner tool, but that's not what it is if you're just gonna half-ass it. If you're just gonna half-ass it, it's just gonna be a struggle. And it was so funny, I talked to someone on the phone who swore by the keto diet. Like, oh no, keto really helps me out. And I was like, well, why are you telling me you're trying to lose weight? Like, yeah, but when I was keto, like I lost the weight, but then I gained it back. Because keto's really hard to stick to. I'm like, then why is it so good? If it's so hard to stick to that you're fluctuating back and forth in weight, it's not a good diet. You could argue that the whole not eating diet is good then, right? Because you stop eating, you're going to lose weight. But when you realize how dumb that is, and you start eating again and you gain weight back, oh, but when I don't eat, great diet. And that's how I see it. And another thing is people don't realize that carbs retain water in your body, which isn't a bad thing, but they do. And so when you start to cut them out, you're gonna lose some water weight. And that's the worst part about this, is that when people start doing it, they think it's the magic pill because they start to lose water weight, and they think, oh my God, I've just seen crazy results in 10 days, I'm down 10 pounds. And that makes them want to do it more. And it's just not sustainable for the majority of people. I'm not saying it's not sustainable for everyone. I'm not saying you shouldn't check it out. I'm just saying, if you haven't been able to commit to something before, and you're not really willing to completely alter your lifestyle, why would you want to do this? So that's just something to take into consideration. To explain the keto diet, if you do want to know more, it is a extremely low carb, almost none high fat diet. Extremely low carb, which is about less than 25 grams a day. And to put that into perspective, that's about a sweet potato. One. And so then you're not getting carbs in anything else. And then it's going to be extremely high fat. So I've had a keto expert on my podcast before. He was eating eggs, avocado, and bacon for breakfast. And then he was eating like a 99% lean burger, avocado, cheese, bacon, obviously no bun, for lunch and dinner. So if those are your two favorite meals, then damn, keto might just work out for you. But like, I don't really know what else you can do. And there's so many other things out there if that's what you really want to stick to. I'm sure there's plenty of recipes, but like, it's not gonna be easy. And that's the thing, is weight loss in general isn't easy. Why do you want to make it harder? Why do you want to make it harder on yourself? So I just want you to consider it. You know, there's so many easier ways to go about it. Ask any of the clients that I work with. You know, it's just adjusting lifestyle things. It's not changing your whole life. So they go, and then so more on the keto diet is when you're cutting carbs, basically the goal, because everyone right now runs on carbs, which is glucose in the body. Everyone runs on that. And so the goal with the ketogenic diet is to get you in the ketogenic state, which is getting rid of all the glucose in your body and running off your fat stores. And to do that, when that switch happens, that's what they call the keto flu. And I don't know about you, but the flu doesn't sound good. I don't feel like I would voluntarily give myself the flu. But to each their own. If you want to go for it, see what you're made of, go for it. And that flu is because your body's not used to running off fat stores, and it's not used to not having that glucose. And so when you're in that transition phase, you're gonna feel like shit. But when you do switch over, I've heard like the mental clarity is crazy. You don't think about food. You're not really that hungry. I've heard it's great. But you also, remember, you have to always maintain this. And if you switch back out, then you have to go right back through that. And it just can become really difficult. And like I said, for someone who is trying to lose weight, you've obviously, like, admit it, you've struggled with things with discipline in the past. Why do you want to make discipline that much harder on yourself? This is just my thoughts. Because I see a lot of people treating it like it's another diet out there, like it's just Weight Watchers out there, and it's just not. You know, it got too mainstream because if you can make it work, it could work for you. But it's I just wouldn't recommend just, yeah, I'm gonna go keto. Like, if that's the way you say it, if that's how you say it, like, don't do it. I'm gonna tell you not to do it. But if you're like, you know what, I need to go keto, I want to do it for other reasons outside of like body composition goals, then I'd say, yeah, and you've done your research and you have a plan, then I'd say, you know what, give it a shot, and I hope it works out for you. But just some things to consider. Me personally, I'm all about the savage oats. I eat almost twice as many carbs in my first meal than you could eat on the keto diet. So, not for me. Not for me, dude. But again, nothing against it, nothing against anyone who does it, nothing against anyone who wants to try it. I'm just saying, consider this.